Alright, welcome back, folks, to Ash of the Gods, Chapter 6. Woohoo! Let's continue. Something is afoot, but one thing, Thorn flees, and then Brennan Vici leaves Ulster in a hurry. Yes. Let's see here. Something is afoot. Good resilience. He is too comfortably riding, they say. Got kicked in his privates. Who beat up Bran. But on occasion, it was his own lady bodyguard. You have seen the smart twin girls hanging around him, haven't you? One of them's done it. Bran's jailed her without my knowledge, but she is not in her cell right now. She escaped with her sister, Aunt Thorn. You can't be thinking that Bran's conspiracy with Thorn. They are ancient enemies and cannot stand each other. No, it's something more devious. It's devious, is it? Something doesn't quite add up. Would Bran set Thorn free, only to chase him across the city afterwards? Perhaps the girls had quarreled with Vici and then helped Thorn escape just to spite Bran. Could be that it's clear as mud, I gather. Bran is going to chase Thorn now. He's lost so many men already, and all for naught. What do you have against Vici Jr.? A real meddler that one is. He persuaded the king to let his mercenaries patrol the streets while his own men guard the palace and mopped up the abominations in the woods. As a result, there have been several scuffles already, with fatal casualties too. I'd be damned. Were any citizens killed? As the gods, nobody, but it was scary, and thugs tried to stop Thorn, and they were no match for him. They all perished, and let me tell you, had it been for the other way around, I would have let the slug Bran escape the city. Wait a minute. Are you saying that if it were not for Bran's men, Thorn could have run to your guards? Oh, it makes sense. I own Bran Vici one. Who knows how to ruin a moment, Aki? Are you going to send anyone after Thorn? I'm gathering a company, but slowly. My men are so busy purging the abominations from the outskirts. I sent word to via pigeon post to everyone involved, but I'm in no rush to set out myself. I'll wait for Prince the Trig to do what he decides. Mustn't we avenge spilt royal blood? God's willing, Prince Ho will recover. He can judge Thorn's actions then. It wasn't Thorn who spilled his blood, and if he doesn't, chaos will break loose, and all our plans will go awry. Do you know where Thorn's daughter has disappeared to? We searched the house where Thorn had been hiding, but found no trace of Gilda, nor Oda, daughter Philippina. They haven't been seen at the gate. Then again, stranger things have happened recently. When I examined the house, I might get a clue. A clue wouldn't hurt, and I started digging into the matter, and it turns out that nobody has seen Uda for the past several years, nor is anyone certain about their daughter, Philippina, either. We can go to their house straight away if you like. Is it a trap? It's a trap. There's something that I'd like to discuss with you first. Why are you looking at me as if I was one hanging in the balance? Are you going to offer a deal? I've heard that you are unbribable, so it cannot be about money. What is it then? How can I be of service to you, Commander of the Guard? I was ran about you, Hopper. You are a man of many talents, it seems, and I have a favor to ask of you. Don't worry. No town hall breaking is involved. But you are a healer, aren't you? Could you take a look at our prince? His ailment is awful, strange. Perhaps you could heal him. I would be happy to do it, considering the trust His Highness put in me. But aren't best physicians already treating the prince? I will also point out that nobody would let in a vagabond such as myself anywhere near the palace. Even if I were to offer my services, His Majesty would surely shoo me off. Damn right. Court physicians are also full of themselves. They're eating their own spatulas before they get anyone off the streets to visit the prince. At this rate, he's overtreated him to death, and they're doing just the right now. Even sorcerers licensed by the temple couldn't help one damn bit.
Oh.
Wait a moment. Why are they bringing in sorcerers? Is principal an element of a magical nature? That's as much of a quack managed to figure it out. Listen, didn't the cardinal himself carry you out of the rubble in his arms? You must be very useful, and you must know a lot about enchantments. You also seem trustworthy, which is why I've returned to you. I'm ready to examine Prince Hope. It is my healer's duty. I will do it without pay. I need to find a way to getting into the prince's chambers, though. I gather that even the commander of the guards cannot bring in a stranger. Let that be my concern. If you like, I can see Oda while you are waiting. Hopper, I have no desire to visit Umbra and her daughter. I'd rather take on 100 Friscan soldiers than have a staring contest with a single witch. I'll wait for you here. I might as well leave Stern, who is probably bored out of his mind in the inn. Let him ride out to meet the prince and tell him all about our exploits. If His Highness gets outraged, then he might cool off by the time he arrives. Okay. Where is the... What's this? That's Uda's house. So the innkeeper. He might prove some useful details. Aha! Sir Scribe. Would you like a bite to eat or something to wet your whistle? I've got both. Neither, Master Innkeeper. I have questions. You know how I arrived in search of Thorn and discovered something curious. Tell me, how did he quarrel with his brother-in-law, Bran Vinici? They've been enemies since 20 odd years. Whenever those two meet, it's like throwing fresh kindling on glowing embers. What kind of embers are those? I've heard it's some sort of inheritance. Well, it could be about the inheritance now, but I am not an Aldenian scribe to tell you for certain. I only know that Bran Vinici has been bearing a grudge against his sister, Leaky Vinici, the mother of Thorn's children. Thorn's wife perished. There's no one to hold a grudge against. Yes, I heard that she's perished. It would be infuriating Bran even more. I gather that he will not rest until he strangles Thorn's kids. This Bran turned out to be a rotten bastard. Well, that's not all I wanted to know. See you, Tay. Okay. Key. Listen, my friend, I'm not asking you to spill out your soul, but I wanted to understand things between us. You are keeping an eye on me, aren't you? Who sent you? Was it Prince Trig or Coruscant? You are good as sword fighting and town hall crashing, Hopper, just as you are good at reading people. Well, I won't lie. It was Coruscant who asked me for a favor. What kind of favor was it? The Colonel wouldn't ask for something trivial, I suppose. Did Coruscant give any orders regarding the prince? How could you even say that? Coruscant may be angry with His Highness, but he is a colonel, not a highway murderer. Do you really think I'm capable of something like that? I'd sooner end my own life. Oh, yes, it's a bit hard to believe. Great warriors usually don't run errands like this. Do you report my every step? Why, in turn, would I want to know about your steps, especially every single one of them? How could I possibly report them to him? Be damned if I know. Trust me. If the Colonel wants you to report on him, he'll find he'd find you anywhere. Maybe ask him to... Does Coruscant have his own stake in his game? Actually, he does, but it's just so absurd you wouldn't believe it. Frankly speaking, at first I couldn't even make sense of what he was asking. But for the most important thing, his favor is this: won't affect my service to Jinnah. Believe me, Aki, Some things aren't as silly as they seem, and the Colonel is definitely not stupid. And tell me, Hopper, why is Coruscant looking for Gilda? He said something like absurd, like Thorn can do what he may. Prince Ho is no importance, but the girl must be kept safe. He told me to make sure that she gets to Opocum. What can you say about that?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what to tell you, Aki. I can think of one reason. The girl may be used to the temple or for Opocum. It's a special place, Aki, and the reaping had never hit Opocum in full force. I should be going then. Oh, wait. I mean to ask you, why did you send Stern off? Never liked him. He was odd, secretive, and keeps to himself. Frankly speaking, I do not trust him, and I cannot understand why Prince Trig forced him on us. I think Stern had his own reasons to be secretive. Anything could have happened to him when the reaping began. But if you don't like him, then I won't argue. Check. Maybe you could clarify something for me, friend. Why was the Prince of the Blood serving in the neighboring kingdom in the rank of a simple soldier? Son's been feeding you stories, I see. The prince claimed that the king wanted him to marry him off as to an elder, unattractive Gullian princess, but I think the true reason is completely different. That's what piqued my interest. High-ranking individuals don't often share the rigors of service with ordinary saps, and they certainly never do in secret. You don't know our king. He is too hot-headed. If everything goes against the grain, he flies off the handle and behaves rashly. Luckily, the Prince Trig is much more sensible, that even he wasn't able to protect his son, who is ready to confront his grandfather about every little detail. No surprise there. I would be more astonished if the young scion didn't go against his elder's will. King is always rushing things, but like Hode, wouldn't it be Ho? Not Hode? It'd be Ho. It was like a knife hitting a rock. The young prince turned out to be more stubborn than his father. The princess is one thing, but Hode didn't want to conceal anything, so the king said, I don't want to see you until you had your fill of shit and grit. I see now. The prince made his base in Ursa so to be closer to his son, and his son joined an Olandian company of young soldiers to keep away from his grandfather's spies. You're quick on the uptake, scribe. Well, if that is all you wanted to know, I'll better go. I have so much to do. Okay. Alright. She fumbles for the keys, opening the door, and enters Uda's house, explaining all the while. The abominations hid in this house. Had it not been for Thorn, they would have caused more trouble. Philippine and Gilda, however, disappeared. How and where they went, I cannot fathom. You take in the fumble astonishment of traditional Burger dwellings. Could she have escaped through the roof or a secret passageway within the house? She smiles into his mustache. The house was surrounded with guards posted in every yard in the block. We had left no stone unturned. We rapped on the walls and lifted floorboards. We didn't find anybody. We started to think that Philippine and the other girls were simply not there. Draw up a spool for a sec. Have a seat while I have a look around. If you don't mind, of course. Don't worry, I shall not keep you long. Nor will you have to carry me out of the rebel, I promise. A massive stone table. You see this and inspect the table. Having carefully examined the table, you notice scratch marks on the flagstone and where it was attached. That causes them unclear. Move the table. Try to move the table with all your might, but as well as moving the mountains Versa was built on. Lift the table. Stretch out your arms. It is impossible to do so with the flagstone. So closer. We're making the table, so I wish to touch to sink in a bit. Step over. Take a step back away from the table. Step in, lift table, inspect table, move table. Okay, leave. Okay. A small garden. You walk into it, plants of several marvel at their varieties. Some of them are very rare. You fight back the temptation to borrow some valuable ingredients. However, it is impossible to hide everything among the flower beds. Okay. Smell leaves no doubt this is an outhouse. Check the hole. You're kidding, right? Oh, yes. Oh, this is, well, a shithole. Oh, this is indeed a bad idea. Inspect the walls. Zudo wasn't exactly living hand to mouth. Not everyone can afford such Magmonia outhouse. Junk. You go through heaps of useless junks and moving barrels and crates around. You do not find a trapdoor. You'll have to trick. Are you still in the house? Look, you can get down from the methomere behind the wall. Shrek furiously, voices carries out there. Told ya. We were the house completely surrounded. The temple guards are always watched on the other side. Okay. Step closer to it. You inspect it. You move the table. Lift the table. Okay. I'm thinking that this is supposed to be a puzzle. There's the outhouse. I guess the only thing is this right here. Check the hole. Of course not. Leave without doubt this is an outhouse. Inspect the hole. Let's close the door. I mean, we're looking for something, right? And the wall. It should be. I mean, I'm not sure what else they want from us. Some guidance here. Walk around the plants and marvel at them. Yes, yes, yes. Now we're supposed to exit. I think those are just seastone, most likely to make potions on. Step closer. Just take it. You take a step towards the table. Move the table. Inspect the table. Lift the table. The table. Nope. 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 Oh, okay. What are we missing here? Check the hole. No, of course not. Smell, there's no doubt. Check the walls. Check the hole. Okay, no. Sure you want to do this? Are you mad? Never. I mean, we've hit all of them, right? Squeamishness is for the sissies. After examining the hole carefully, after several minutes, you realize that it's too narrow to make an escape. Even one head would be not go through. Okay. I mean, we inspected everything, right? Okay. think we're supposed to find something, but this is the only thing we've got access to, right? Oh, so that's done. Exit, that's done. That's done. That's done. This is the only thing that's possibly left. So maybe there's like... So I'm thinking that this is some sort of puzzle, maybe? Move the table. Try to move the table. With success, there we go. Underneath is the ladder, descending into darkness, a small scroll. The commander of the guard shakes his head and then points out the inscription on the bottom. You recognize the handwriting from the double mythmere, and if you do not burn it, carry it, Shrek says. Pure witchcraft. Let's go. The place gives me the creeps. You unroll the scroll and make sure that Shrek can't see you. From some reason, you're certain that it's meant for you. The writing is from the same hand. Your path leads to the west. May you not shy away from the tall buildings, and may you remember old friends of ancient enemies alike. You nod. This is where Gilda was hiding. You waited until everyone left and then escaped. Looking for her would be like looking for a needle in a haystack, but I will still try. You notice Shrek's frown and reassures him. I remember my promise, Shrek. I will do what I can. How much longer till we get into the palace? The commander of the guard shrugs. Well, the right guards are now on duty. And the king's physicians have left. Just do me a favor and wash yourself. By the gods, this is an odor among the most offensive. I have the unfortunate honor of smelling. Well, I mean, that's what you wanted, right, game? Alright, check the palace. As you walk through the anchored corridors of the palace, you realize that without Shrek, you would have been lost. Of course, the King's Palace in Jera is grander, and it is still too easy to make a wrong turn. A maze of long corridors. The guards are obviously Shrek's men. They pretend you are not even there. You enter the prince's chamber and find an old woman beside his bed. Umbra, this is Tenya, the prince's nurse. She has raised him from infancy and will do anything to save him now. She won't betray us. Come on, healer. Do your part. Kia, please stand guard on the door and listen closely, just in case you cannot help with the enchantments anyhow. This is not how I expected to find. How could the daughter of the self-taught healer weave an enchantment like this? She is no ordinary woman. Anyway, I'll try to sort it out now. Do your thing, Opera. I will talk to Filipina when I find her. Just give me time to do the latter. After our chat, she will be happy to withdraw her enchantment and place them on herself. You should thank Filipina when you see her. Her enchantment is not killing the prince. It is merely putting him to sleep. For a healthy man, it would have meant death, but for a mortally wounded one, it's prolonged life. Its last seconds are stretching into minutes, hours, even days. Are you saying she swapped a quick death for a slow one? Should we all bow down to her in praise? What are we to do? You did well sorting out the enchantment, but how can we save the prince? I haven't sorted it out, and I can't comprehend such intricate weavings at a glance. Step back and let me concentrate. I need to make a sketch of this pattern, and by the gods, hold your tongues. It's been a long while since I last saw the sophistication pattern. Several minutes pass in leaden silence. You still cannot fully comprehend its properties. You'll have to play it by ear, or the consequences for Prince Hose may be dire. What you are about to do is dangerous, but it's better than doing nothing. Start to unweave the spell, but something goes wrong. The enchantment resists you, tighten its coil around the prince's and drains his lifeblood. You fight the alien magic for several minutes, but finally have to admit to yourself that you have fallen into a trap. You pull yourself together and make a different confessions. You cannot destroy this enchantment, only transfer it to another person. It will not cling to me, and even if it does, it will rebound on the prince again. One of you must have a sacrifice yourself. Joe smirks. Why waste one of us? Let me bring some thug from the dungeon to use him. We'll even clear him of all charges and set a monument for him, posthumously. You do not even have the energy to face the commander. A splendid idea, and if only we had a few minutes, if not seconds, who is willing to do it? The companions are frozen in silence. Their mood is understandable. It's one thing to die for one's prince in battle and shield him from an assassin's blade, but it's another else to entirely to succumb to a silence and obscure death like this. You will have to pick one to do it. Aki or Shank? I don't want either of them. What about the nursemaid? Why not the nursemaid? She's there, right? Or one of the guards. I don't know what this is. You'll have to pick one to do it to. Well, this sucks balls. Aki is my ally. So, he is for the king, and the king's an a-hole, and then Aki is for the cardinal. Who do we want to side with? I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, you're supposed to die for your prince and shit. The guard commander meets your gaze and turns pale, but regains composure almost immediately. Cast it onto me, Hopper, he says. Such a death is honorable for any warrior. You can leave the palace the same way you came. Nod to the warrior, showing respect. As you say, all you need to do is touch my hand. The enchantment will do. Before you finish, the old nursemaid, who has been standing in silence, hears Prince Ho rush towards you. Nobody manages to stop Tenya, who grabs your hand and looks you in the eyes so that you can catch the moment of the light of life of life leaves them. You're watching shock as the old woman's... Yeah, see? Boom! Boom! You're watching shock as the old woman's body collapses to the floor. You can barely move your lips. Did you see it? She grabbed me by the hand herself. Trying to hide his relief, Shanks shakes his head. She turned out to be the bravest among us. God's gracious, look, Prince Ho. He's opening his eyes. He's waking up. Look at the prince intensely to make sure that all enchantments have been undone. Well, that's wonderful. I haven't taken a life in vain. Your prince will live in better health than ever. You're interrupting by a bell tolling gravely. The guard commander listens with apprehensive, turns pale and says, "You should leave this palace. The guards will tell you where to go. I must stay. Holy gods, I think the king is dead." All affairs in Osha is settled, and it's time to move on. You stay as has not been long in Ursa. It seems like you have been following Thorn, as if your blackened hand and the annoying riddle weren't enough. You must now chase the elusive warrior. Riding to the gates of Ursa, you try to piece together the words you found. Take unto yourself that which you have take, and there is no more else to take it. And if you do not burn it, carry it. What does that mean? Does your blackened hand be part of this burning? Kia interruption distracts you from your musings. Hopper, look, it's Frisk again, and again he's drunk. At least it seems he hasn't murdered anyone in Ursa yet. Come out of your musing and let the lank frame of Fritz, who is barely holding himself upright, something tells you that might prove useful. Listen, Aki, do me a favor. Please ask Shank to give us a horse for Frisk. We need him. It's not a servant nor an ordinary guard who brings the horse, but Shank himself. He leads you aside, and you notice that the commander of the guard is worried, anxious, and slightly taken aback. Shank whispers out loud, I didn't want to tell you this, but you might consider me insane, but there is so much insanity here anyways. A couple days ago, an old woman appeared at the gate. Her frame was fragile. Her eyes were young. Really strange. In a way, she looked like Umbra, Unda. And in a way, she didn't. She looks around nervously. She told me that if I see the scribe, I should tell him the word Frigga. You thank Shank and leave the town. There's plenty to ponder as you ride on. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot to think about. Alright, we are heading... Pretty sure we took the straight route, right? Yeah, right there. We're following after... Akia lags behind you. You pull up the reins, waiting for the giant to catch up. So you see his face. His jaw is set. He is in pain and toughing it out. You make him stop. Even a hero needs a break from time to time. What happened? Kia waves away your concern. My back is acting up, damn it. A weak spot. It's because I'm so large. It's tough to haul all the weight around. Turn the wrong way, sleeping on the ground, or forget to furrow twigs under your bedroll and bang, your lower back is screwed. Can't breathe in or out. Put me in a brawl or bring a bathhouse with a pretty lass and I'd forget all about it. Offer to examine Akia's back. Are you a book lover or a healer? Asked suspiciously. You want to put an enchantment on my back if it falls apart like the Umbra's town bell? Leap from your horse and help Akia down. Don't fret, soldier. The Umbra's town hall didn't collapse due to my sorcery of mine, but because I took on another spell. All your back needs is a couple of able hands and good ointment, and it'll be good as new. Hale leans over and watches you spread out his bedroll on the bed. I doubt that my back will be even as good as new. I'd love to heal it. The stupid illness has put me out of commission for a fortnight before. At least in those days, I had a woman to keep me warm and a bed to lie down. But now I cannot even lie down. Amused by Akia's complaint, you make him lie down, roll up the shirt, and rub his back with pine tree ointment. You run a hand along his mighty torso, carefully realigning the troublesome vertebrae. Soon Akia is able to climb onto the saddle all by himself. You continue your journey. Okay. Yeah, man, you gotta take care of yourself. Gotta take care of yourself. Akia tries to take a drink and notices that all the water is gone. You filled the water skin not too long ago, but it's empty now. What the fuck? He grumbles. We just refilled this water supply, and now we have none. I'm so thirsty, it's pissing me off. I'm about to drink from the nearest puddle. Oh, blessed gods. Is that as well there? You see a roadside, a harmless-looking girl sits nearby, judging by the pot of coins in front of her. You wouldn't drink here. You wouldn't drink here for free. Girl says that she is Maria and asks you to take a donation to maintain the well. Difficult work for such a waif. He digs into his pony purse and you find your thoughts wandering. The strange thirst that overcame you is highly suspicious. An unarmed girl so far from any village seems shady too. Are you seeing threats where there are none? Go ahead and buy some water. Throwing my eyes of coin, the girl obligingly pulls a bucket of water from the well. The water is cold and refreshing, though you detect a slight odor of drowsy weed. Maria suddenly takes off running. Companions blink, yawn, and fall to the ground. You can feel drowsiness gain over you, but you brush it off anyways with sheer willpower. Well, shit. You already know what is happening, so you dismount and go to the bushes to confront those who plan to rob you. Do we have more skill points? I think we got tons of skill points. Come at me, bro. Yep. So there was like some sort of enchantment. Nice. Although I would have targeted the archer first. Nicely done. It's kind of funny that the archer's like, oh, well. Nice. Oh, he's level 16 now? Dang, how high did this go? At a fight, you return to the well and observe the hex. It seems to be fed from the well itself. You break the encrusted spell with a snap of your fingers. Companions come to their senses. They regard the dead bandits with amusement and curse Miranda. Kia scratches his head. I can't seem to understand who's guarding who, Hopper. Am I guarding you or the other way around? By the way, I'm not thirsty anymore. You smirk. Yeah, I hope that the time never comes for you to guard me. Since no one wants to sleep or drink anymore, let's get out of here. Well, I mean, we got experience for it, right? So it wasn't totally a waste. Feel the reaping growing stronger. Its shadow falls upon you. The curse that ripples through your arm heads to your heart. Give in to the curse. The blackness in your hand creeps upwards, sapping your strength and chilling your heart, and yet the reaping halts for a while. You console yourself, knowing that you suffer lessens the evil surrounding Temerium. As you restock supplies in the roadside village, a distant tower draws your attention. The locals are eager to share that Jeffrin's official daughter recently took up residence there. The woman is reportedly a witch, so the tower has been nicknamed the Witch's Tower. You recall the piece of advice in cleaning the tall building and decide to pay the witch a visit. The witch turns out to be a good-looking young woman. Sight of Kia, she blurts out his name, Tori, and shows you to her temple's license. She then complains that someone was covering the interior walls of her tower with indecipherable runes. Protecting with charms would take her more than a year to break. Ask Tori to let you see the tower. Tori regards you suspiciously. Oh, I kept my mouth shut. No, I wouldn't let you in. I've learned a lot about the way that enchantments is woven. I'll untangle it myself in time. Right now, I have other matters to attend. Let's see here. You consider your options. You can't force your way in, or Usra's father would have your head. You could use a subtle enchantment on her, but it'll be easy to underestimate the power of a Charlotte, which might have. She might have some matter to attend. Perhaps you could render her a service. Ask her what matter she needs to be attended to. Tori is eager to tell you that both she and her father strongly oppose slavery, and for a time, the witch is tracking Reyna, who has been raiding Borkalian villages and the guilds driven capture into slavery. Search for him is what brought Anoitri here, which has already located his hideout, but she won't venture there alone. She now waits for her father's men to come to her aid. However, Rain might escape while she waits. Now, if you could assist her in his capture, offer to help. He'll tell her that you will find and punish Ritha. With a brilliant smile, she provides detailed directions to the slaver's accomplice's hideout. You depart immediately. You depart in search of Ray, but don't have any luck until the next day. Kia points out a man with clutching standing by the side of the road. Look, he matches Tori's description. That's Rand. The bastard is pretending to be wounded. He probably leads the kind-hearted strangers to his accomplices. Can't stop Kia rumbling before Rita understands what's happening. Leaping up, he throws his clutch to the side and disappears into the brush. It's not my fault. They made me do it, you hear him yell. Whooping happily, your companions jump off his horse, runs after Rain. You stay on the road. The last thing you need is to break a leg in a dead fall. You're not alone for very long. After a short while, several gulls run out of the forest. Rain's buddy must have come to see what's going on. Pull your sword from your sheath and turn your face to the sky. Are you serious? A moment I'm alone, someone tries to kill me? How about some variety? And we level up again. Or attempt to. Skill points. We got tons of skill points. Look at this. Yep. Fireblade. That's one cooldowns. Master of Combat. Shadowblade. Sounds fun. Energy Surge. And then let's continue. Let's do this. I think he's maxed out. Pretty confident that he's... Yep, there we go. Start. Holy crap. When you're done, Aki comes back with Rena's severed head. The giant observes the gull corpse and looks at you crystally. You only shrug. Your way lies back to the towers now. Tori is happy to see you. Seeing Rena's head, she grins and invites you in. You enter the tower without further ado. The side of the tower is indeed inscriptured from the floor to ceiling in the same word written over and over again. Shillen? It's the true name of your old friend, known as Riska of Bruna. Once you read them, the runes vanish without a trace. Say goodbye to Toria, leap onto your saddle, and carry on with your journey. Something feels different. It takes you a while to realize that your blackened hand feels less cold. A good sign. Alright, see, we're going to take the Boar's Pass. Which way did we take? It was the fastest one, right? It was the Boar's Pass. I don't know, maybe. Yeah, we're getting towards the end of the thing. When you stop to rest, Aki, who's been eyeing your book of notes and sketches for some time now, let me ask you about it. Book lover. Have their secrets, I understand. But why does your book bear the king's seal on the cover? Top aristocrats aren't allowed to use it on their ribbons. Even Prince Trig isn't allowed. Why are you? Can't help but smile. The giant warrior is actually quite observant. Trig didn't favor him without reason. What's the best way to reply, though? Gloss over the subject. You open the book, turning the pages to a key. Look closer. An old cover, a new inset. This is Ray Dawn's papers. Go to the flea market in Jerna. There are everything your heart desires, including covers embroidered with the Temple of Divine Retribution signal. A bookbinder will apply whatever inset you like. So it's just a pretense? Akia asked disappointedly. Here I thought that you had stolen a book from the Royal Library when you were a scribe in Jerna. You sigh. I'd love to have privileged a book from, but the guards all but stripped me naked when I came and went. Would have been more enjoyable if the guards had been female instead of war-grizzled veterans. He knits his brow in confusion. Why would they search you when you arrived? You shrug. They didn't want me to bring anything in. At least I put a priceless manuscript into a different cover, like this one, and sneak it out. Perilous path. Perilous path. Let's just keep following it. Who knows what we will find? Feel the reaping growing stronger. A shadow falls upon you. Give in to the curse. The curse is spreading. Balance stats are lowered. Stop in a tiny village to buy fresh bread from the roadside's bakery. An ancient man with a crooked crane hobbles closer. His droopy eyes rest on you for a moment, and then he kneels before you. He tells you that he recognizes you, his old teacher with whom he traveled the roads of Burka 8 years ago. You grab him by the shoulders and pull him to his feet. You send him away with a handful of coins. Kiz mounts his horse, rips a chunk of hot loaf, and washes a simple meal down with a chug of fresh milk. What was that about, Hopper? Tell me. If you want to pull wool over my eyes, make sure that it's nice and warm. You didn't expect to see a former student. What would you tell Aki? Do you lie to him or joke your way out of it? If you have enough power, you could cast an oblivion spell instead. Laugh it off. You nod at the ancient man and says, "Oh, that was nothing." It happens all the time. I mean, really. One time in Jibo, I was a place I hadn't been in 15 years. I got harassed by this plump Gilbian lady. Where have you been, you son of a bitch? She said. Our sons are 3 years old now. Answer me, you bastard. Academia lightens up. What happened to me? That happened to me 4 times, and every time it was a woman I never met. How'd you get out of that one? You chuckle. I didn't. The guards took all my money, gave a third of it to the woman, and kept the rest for themselves. So I never set foot in Bolnia ever again. Continue. Oh wow, this is a different, let's see here, we can go this way. I think we went this way first, right? And then we went to the Grey Mounds. I guess not, okay. Nothing has changed in the Ashen Waste for hundreds of years, but now everything feels different. There's a bitter taste in your mouth, like you've inhaled some smoke, but there's none to be seen. There's only been Ashen Valley, gray grass, and gray skies. That's causing the sting in your throat. Where did this feeling of power come from? You need to make camp. He dismounts the horse and carefully ties a bridle to the branch. Demons and gods, he explains. Are you by chance turning into abomination? What happened to your eyes? They're black. Did your pupils consume your eyeballs? What about my eyes? Blame it all on the strangeness of a wasteland. Shrug, this is a special place, Akia. People don't change here, they just see more because the world is thinner here. You can tell it by the colors, the world isn't thick enough, so everything is gray. You see my black eyes, you look like a giant with steel teeth and horns. Who's right then, you or me? Kyo wearily checks his head and jaws. I don't have steel teeth. I don't have horns either. Here, feel for yourself. You sigh. Well, there you are. You got lucky, and I can touch you and tell you that there aren't any horns on my head. My eyes are another matter. What could you possibly learn by touching them? I am not touching your head on the off chance you have horns, but just can't feel them for yourself. He frowns. No way. Don't touch my head. What if there actually something there? I'd rather look at your black eyes and hit full door frames with horns. A plague of this wasteland. We should need to hurry and leave it behind. Whew. Continue. You see a triple myth mirror rising above the steps. You and your friends freeze in your tracks. There are reapers on the other side, 5 of them. Dorpathcaw, whose clutches you left 300 years ago. Alkia, Termar, Algi, and Chado. They move towards you. As everyone around them falls, their power makes it difficult for you to stand. You won't be able to strike them. You've lost. You can only retaliate with your death. There's no way to channel your power against the Reapers. You exchange glances and unsheath the sacred knives. You're strong enough for this. You raise the knife and an arrow immediately pins your hand to your body. More arrows follow, piercing your flesh. The last thing you see is Jopra's evil grimace. Change the memories. Keep your eyes open with sheer willpower. You do the thing you never managed 700 years ago. During the Battle of Drowsy Deep, you leave your body. You leave it there, lying in the holy dagger clenched in your hand, and raise it to the sky. Not only can you see the battlefield is clear of reapers, but evolved term is shaking with earthquakes and calamity. A big fiery crack nearly tears it apart, and remains narrow valley appears in your liability. Your death would have made the abyss complete, yet it claimed many other deaths. You hear a strange voice, the same reasoned female whispering in your ear, how are you better than us? Reminisce. Feels like you are wiggling out of a cocoon. The night sky above you, everything is silent. The pain is tearing your body apart, so it's time to leave it and find another. But you hesitate with a stone knife in your hand. It's obviously cold and soothing. You roll onto your back, breaking some of the arrows stuck in your body. You lose consciousness again. You lose consciousness several times after trying to remove the strange gray arrows from your chest. One by one, they seem to disintegrate as soon as you grab them. You sit and grit your teeth to avoid shouting, and 12 stone figures that look more like weather-beaten Vandal pillars than your friends are slowly turning to ash. Wolves howl somewhere in the distance. It smells like blood and smoke rise in the air. The healers roam around, trying to figure out who's still alive by poking bodies with a stick. However, the 12 figures crumbling to dust is the most important thing you should remember. That and coughing up blood at your feet. You wake up. You are the one of a dozen off, all right, Kara says, aggravated. You should have fallen and broken your neck. Well, at least your cheeks have the same color. Did you get enough sleep? It helps. Ain't that the truth? Well, I guess he knows. Let's go ahead and do Marsh Road. Well, we're going to resist the curse this time. The reaping grows stronger, Tamir plunges into chaos. A plague rages, pitting people against each other. And you gather your energy to end this once and for all. Hopefully it works. come to your senses in an unfamiliar place. It's the same wasteland, but an unknown hill around you is covered in fog. Armed warriors begin to emerge, a Gil, a Frisian, a Burka, and an Israel. It's certainly an illusion. The magic bounds your temple and hurts your eyes. Wasteland is mocking you, but you hardly have the strength to break free of the vision. Call out to one of the warriors. Shout in Bergen Frenzy and temple tongues, but the rings around you tightens. No talking to the wasteland is useless. Join the battle. Well, if the magic awakens by the Reapers can do that, it's time to test its strength. Skill point. Fireblade was really bad at spurts of flame. That's really good. Let's do this. This is cursed. That is cursed. Everyone is cursed. This is still chapter 6, by the way. So chapter 6 has 3 things. Alright. Fight. Do your flame strike. Do it. Do it now. That's cool too. Strike. Nice. A solid blow. Finish him. Still a badass. Yeah. The army disperses in the fog, retracing your steps. You understand that you were led away from your chosen path by an illusion. You should go back and try to find an explanation for your newly found strength and retreating blackness of your arm. Alright. Yeah, man. Always fight. Always fight. Yeah, I think we went the wrong way. I think we were supposed to hit the cursor. You open your eyes and shiver, as if awakened from the daydream. It feels like you've returned to the dim and distant past. You can see the sky of the long-perished Calls, where there are fields and hills around you. A light streams beneath your feet, connecting to a wide river. A familiar and terrifying silhouette looms before you. Your lord, master, and shepherd stands before you. Dorpakov looks at you with reproach, shakes his head. Are you ready, Blanche? The divine powers descend onto me, and I am going inside you. You can choose to stay. I permit you to watch. Anyways, I think you should see what you've created with your own hands. Refuse. Clench your fists and raises them to see your fingers. Half transparent but strong and young. You look at the Reaper and shake your head. His lips stretch into a smile as he begins to speak. For now, he's just talking. His word stabs you like a knife. Just as I serve the gods, you serve me. Just as I serve the gods' messengers, you are mine. Do what I say and obey in the name of the 5 heads and the 5 thrones. Do and obey. Do and obey. Use your strength to wake up. Clench your fists, flex every muscle, and break free of the heavy dream. You swallow the blood flowing from your biting lips. Your breathing becomes erratic. You have no strength left, and your hands feel like they have carved from a piece of rivered ice. Yep. The kid is amazed. How plastered did you get? Why were you shouting like that? And this, if there are single abominations around here, it's heading this way. I'm already here, Aki, you say, out of breath. Pay no attention, it's just a bad dream. Nothing more. He's wanting that power. Approach the Marsh Watch. Making your way to the local inn, you leave Aki to tend the horse. You should eat, but you're not hungry. So you just pay the innkeeper for a small room and go straight there. You carve some respite and time to think about your journey ahead. At some point, you doze off. What comes next feels like a vivid dream, though you still see the same window-lit room and the old but spry woman. She opens the door smiling and nods in satisfaction. She looks like a crone, but moves like a woman in her prime. Sitting beside you, she takes the book from your bag and flips through it. You try to speak, but the words can't escape. You close your eyes, trying to remember where you've seen her before. Darkness slowly consumes everything. Someone grabs you by the shoulder. Wake up! You open your eyes to see your old friend. Glad to see you, Blanche, he says, winking, surprised though. Was wondering who had been casting some spells over the roof's inn. You have insomnia or something. After hearing these words, you finally realize that you are awake and come to your senses. A quick look around and you know that someone's sorcery is at work here. Realizing that you've been hexed, you scramble to get your bag. The book is gone. Curses, how did they trick me like that? I dreamt of a hag rummaging through my things and flipped through my book. And it was no dream. The book is missing. And you are not encountering anyone on the stairs. My apologies, but I haven't seen any hag in the inn stairs. Arrived after the spell dissipated. Where are you off to, Blanche? And I'm not alone. I see been accepting into royal services, have you? Well, you have stayed so far from home by happenstance, neither, have you, Cherlin? You don't simply travel for the sake of it, do you? You rarely step outside of your shop, especially in reaping time. Forget the shop. Now isn't the time. I've actually been looking for you, Blanche. And it's clear that seeing the crone in your dreams is no coincidence, though an odd one. She wields great power. Who is she? Who knows, although I've got a hunch that she might be Uda's everyone talking about. But something's off. Uda's so old, it's surprising she still lives. It's as if she was this hag by pretending to be Unda. Crone looked like the woman in her prime, stone bracelets and serpent gaze. I've heard of her. Calls herself Chilla. Maybe she's like us, not human. You should be well aware that the name is only a garment. Take it off, if you will, and it loses all meanings. I've been considering this from all angles. All those who could be the crone died at the same battle which gave you your arrow scars. I've had no more ideas, no clues. Like we don't need anything better to do than solve an old hag's riddle. She's a witch, no doubt. What do you need me, Triplin? You should already know this. Some witch told me that I could find you in these lands, and that you, too, search for me. Should that fail, catastrophic may fall. Catastrophe might follow. Oof! I need a drink. This is a lot of reading. Get the mind games, Trillin. My head aches even without adding your riddles. How does the old woman or witch compel you to look for someone? I don't recognize you. I hardly recognize myself, Blanche. I've been through so many thoughts lately. Got a job at the intendants in Opicum. Guided wagons through the marsh roads. I thought I'd keep quiet and survive the reaping, but no. Trouble found me again, and now on we travel together. At least there's some good news. Always happy to see you, Trillin. Have you tagged along and always nice? Still, I'm quite surprised. What power do you mean, Trillin? If I knew the secrets of her power, I would also possess it. Her clairvoyance is on par with yours, with your Alma. Your sorcery matches that of High Umbra, and she's an impressive, persuasive as Dwarfcall. She's definitely not allied with the High Umbra of the North. I've already realized that a new player has joined the game. Coruscant is seriously concerned with that. Seems like she is the one who managed to hold back the reaping. I don't care about the Coruscant scoundrel. And who knows if the reaping is truly receding? What if she's not saving us, but seasoning us for the frying pan? There's something special about her, as if she's holding some hidden threads, or some underlying scheme. Blanche, I don't like it. Calm down, Sherlin. Why are we being scared of the reaping, especially when we're together? Enough conjections. We have got bigger problems. Take off your gloves and show your blackened hand. Lashun observes it with great interest. His breath becomes heavier, as if he's trying to place its smell. What a convoluted curse. Where'd you get that nasty thing? And and why is it on your hand? What purpose? And why does it jitter? Is it breathing? Still haven't lost your aptitude, huh? Sean? How, got this nasty stuff in Albus, just near your shop. Some cunning crone left it. Now I'm roaming Burka trying to piece together a spell to cure me, among other things. Yes, I'm aware. Following Glinda Burra, aren't you? She just told me her father she just met her father by the Marsh Watch and left, trying to save her brother. Well, let them. Why do you want to join me so badly, though? What's your aim? There's only one there's only one goal: survival. It's yours as well. Judging by this hand of yours, I don't have any recent hexes, but I'm still afflicted with as much older curse. I feel chills and foreboding feelings. Something else is on my mind. Have you anything to say? Should I be asking the questions? Aren't you the one who's supposed to be imparting the key words to me? For which I am here all the way from Ursa. It all led to you. It's true. Don't know what book the old hag stole from you. But I've also seen her, not just in real life, but in dreams too. She seared something into my mind in one of those dreams, and burned and won't subside unless you read it. Just let me roll up my sleeves. So she truly is a great sorceress, always gets her way. What you got there? The many handwritings, and with every step your burdens shall become heavier, for you're carrying it for many, and their numbers increase still. Ye gods, the writing vanished. What a relief. What do these words mean, Blanche? What are they? I don't know, Chellan. Need to think this through, but I won't be staying in this inn. But I won't be staying in the inn. Can't say I'd be happy about absorbing anybody else's sorcery. And by the way, just a reminder, call me Hopper. And you are Rusk, a store owner from Albus. Names are not to be used in vain. Times are too dire for such foolishness. Let's go. Oof. Of course you were the only one that noticed the magical veil of the dreams cast over the end in Charlin's, rather, Rusk's appearance. For everyone else, it's business as usual. Seems like Aki is done preparing and is ready to continue onward. You don't have to introduce Rusk to your companions. They know the shopkeeper from Albus. However, everyone is surprised to find him in the middle of nowhere, and more so, he is going to accompany you from now on. As you exit the inn, Remus pulls you aside, looking mysterious. Seems like he's got something important to tell you. Didn't we just talk? Blanche, or rather, Hopper, wait, I haven't told you everything. Thorn's daughter is waiting for him when he arrives here. Me too. It's the old woman who brought his daughter here, after all. There was also Filipina, a girl from Ursa. I have asked to watch Gilda until Thorn comes. I know her by my time in Albus. Headstrong girl, that one. So Philippine is heading to Opacum and the old woman decide to cross the marshes. I was sure I'd never see her again, and then Thorn heading west with his daughter. The damn hag came to me in a dream. She drew this damn thing on my head and said something cryptic. I figured that there was no point in trying to comprehend the message, only that I must relay it to you. What did she tell you, and why did you think it was, why do you think that I'm the recipient of her message? She mentioned you by name and called you Blanche instead of Hopper, so listen up. You need to venture west and keep in mind that even a scoundrel can be useful. That's not much to go on. That is... was there at least another word? Must I solve a riddle again? Well, life's a big riddle. She also said that I need to accompany you. I'm asking, what did I do to deserve this? She dismissed it, saying that in real life, in real tribes lies in Frigga, or something nearby, and that is a spell certain doom for you. That sure is some good news, friend. Well, nothing to do but face the music.
The voices of those nearest and dearest still echo in your mind. You rush into battle as if you were late for a meeting.
All right. We'll continue this. This is chapter 6, continuing. This time we're going back to Thorn. So we hit Poe. We hit Hopper. Now we're back to Thorn. I will see you guys in the next video. All right. Let's see where this leads. Okay.